Okay. Uh, so, uh, so in F test, is there any difference between boys and girls scores variances in unit test 2 and or unit test 3? So you have seen that in unit test 2 you have taken some samples. In unit test 3 you have also taken some samples. So some boys and girls are there in unit test 2 and also some boys and girls are there in unit test 3. So is there any difference between the variances in unit test 2 and unit test 3? So that if you want to perform, then you will use F test. That means, simply speaking, in case of independent sample or students t-test, okay, you have seen that you have compared the mean, right? But in case of F test, you are just comparing the variances. Okay, that's it. This is the difference. Now, let's look at the chi-square test. Suppose it is decided by the authority that the standard deviation of the population in unit test 2 should not be more than 3 or the variance is not greater than 9. Okay, because standard deviation is 3, then the variance will be 3 square 9. So test to see whether the standard deviation specification is exceeded. Okay, so just have a look at this unit test 2. Suppose the authority has decided or the specification is given by the authority that all the 36 students who have registered for the course, okay, that standard deviation must not be greater than 3. Okay, I have previously told you the example of a refrigerator or freezer. There, in that particular cases, the specifications are already given. Okay, so that kind of things are also there here. Okay, so those kinds of things are already, suppose in this case also the authority has fixed the specification that the standard deviation cannot be more than 3 or the variance cannot be more than 9. So you would like to test that whatever standard deviation or the variance you are finding in your sample, whether that is uh, from that, if you can infer or if you can draw the conclusion that the population uh, variance is also exceeding the specification limits, okay, as provided by the authority. So that you would like to test through the chi-square test. Okay, so you are determining this thing at population level, whether your population standard deviation is exceeding the specification or the specified population standard deviation, that you are checking, but only from drawing the samples you are checking about your population. You are comparing two different populations. Okay, so for that purpose you are using chi-square test. Okay, so Deepika B is saying that, sir, can you repeat chi-square again, please? Yes, I'm again repeating chi-square test. Try to understand that in chi-square test, some specifications will be given. Suppose the authority has provided that in your entire population, suppose in unit test uh, 2, okay, 36 students have registered. Okay, now suppose the 1 minute, just hello, হ্যাঁ 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 এই একটু পরে করো, আমি একটু এই ক্লাস নিচ্ছি এখন, একটু পরে। হুম Okay. So in chi-square test, suppose in unit test 2, okay, suppose 36 students have registered in unit test 2, okay, and the authority has given you the specification that the standard deviation of these 36 students should not be more than 3. Okay. Now, you have not tested the scores of all 36 students. You have got the scores of only these 18 students that you have sampled, and you have got your standard deviation as 3.43. This standard deviation is for the sample you have got. Okay. But you want to find out that whether what you want to find out about your population mean. That means the population mean of all the 36 students, and whether that population mean is exceeding the specification limit or not. Okay, here you can see that you have got the standard deviation is 3.43, but it is given that the population mean should not be more than 3, but you cannot say that this mean is actually this standard deviation is crossing the given specification. Why you cannot say that? Because you are judging at sample level. You have the standard deviation that you have found, it is only for the sample. You have no idea about your population, but your problem is that you will conclude about at the population level that whether your population mean, your population standard deviation is exceeding the specified population standard deviation given by the authority. You are taking this decision only from looking at your sample level. Okay, so this is determined by the chi-square test. Okay, now I think it is clear. Okay, so now you are looking at the ANOVA. Okay, one-way ANOVA. Suppose in unit test 3, is there any difference among the population mean of 10, 11 and 12 years old? Or does age has an effect on unit test, it will be unit test 4, or does age has an effect on unit test 4 test scores? Okay, so that you would like to test in one-way ANOVA. In one-way ANOVA, suppose you can see that in unit test 4, you have a sample size of 36. Okay, there are some students from 10 years old, there are some students from 11 years old, there are some students from 12 years old. So you would like to test whether the mean of the 10 years old and the 11 years old and the 12 years old, whether the mean is different, means are different. You would like to test obviously at population level, because this mean will be different obviously, but it's not necessarily that the difference that you are seeing at sample level that is also representing the population level, because 54 students, a total of 54 students have registered for unit test 4, but you have taken the data from only 36 students. You have not tested the rest of the students. So you will infer about your population through your sample. So you will use one-way ANOVA in order to understand whether the age has an effect on the test score. Okay, or whether the 10 years old students test score, 11 years old students test score, and the 12 years old students test score, that means the mean score, they differ at population level or not. So that you would like to test at using one-way ANOVA. Okay. Now, when you will use Cohen's d-test, this is very important. Cohen's d-test. This is actually post hoc test. Okay. From one-way ANOVA, suppose you have got that the means are, the population means are different in 10 years old and 11 years old and 12 years old. The means are different. Okay, the means are not equal. That means your null hypothesis is rejected. Okay, but you don't know that which means are different and which means are not different. Okay, it may happen that some means are different but some means are not different, or it may so happen that all population means are different. That means suppose your 10 years average, it may be equal to 11 years average, but the 11 years average may not be equal to the 12 years average. It may happen. If this thing happen, then also your null hypothesis will be rejected in one-way ANOVA. Okay, or it may so happen that the population mean for 10 years old, 11 years old and 12 years old all are different. Okay, so which particular pair, 10, 11, 10, 12, 11, 12, three different combinations will be there. Okay, so which particular pair will differ and which particular pair will not differ in your research hypothesis or alternative hypothesis, that you can test from by using the Cohen's d-test. Okay, this is a post hoc test, post analysis of one-way ANOVA if your null hypothesis is rejected. Okay, now take a look at the two-way ANOVA. Okay, so suppose you have seen that not only the age groups are there, but also the gender is there. So earlier, in case of one-way ANOVA, you have tested that whether age has an effect on the test score, and you have seen that, but you have not tested, or you can also test in case of one-way ANOVA that whether the gender has an effect on the test score. But here you would like to test that whether the age, gender and their interaction have an effect on the unit test 4 test score. Actually it should be 4. So do age, gender and their interaction have an effect on unit test 4 test scores? Okay, so just I described it like yesterday. Okay, so in that case you will use two-way ANOVA, where there will be 2 independent variables, age and gender, and there will be 1 dependent variable, that is test score. Okay, if the p, you will look at your p values and you will take your decision accordingly. Okay, and I have also stated that usually the main factor effect like age and gender, okay, it is important, or the two-factor interaction effect, that is also important, but usually the 3-factor interaction effects, it is seen that, those are not very those are not very much effective to determine the to affect or to influence the response variable. Okay, so now finally we'll look at the MANOVA. MANOVA means it will start from two-way MANOVA, three-way MANOVA, like that. MANOVA cannot be one-way MANOVA. I have told you that because if there is one dependent variable and one independent variable, it will simply become an one-way ANOVA, a one-way ANOVA. Okay, so here suppose you have also, in unit test 4, you have not only taken the test score, you have also taken the satisfaction scores that are marked within brackets. Okay. So you would like to test that do age or gender, suppose you are not considering gender, only age. So you would like to test that do age has an effect on the relationship between test scores and satisfaction, or you can also say that do gender has an effect on the relationship between test scores and satisfaction. That means whether one independent variable has an influence on the relationship of two dependent variables that you'd like to test through two-way maneuver. Okay. So here all the things are given at a glance. Okay. And I will definitely share this with all of you. And I think the idea will be clear. So now just let me take the attendance first. Nivedita J.
Yes, sir.
No. Okay. Why Khan was present? Sangati Sneha.
Absent.
Absent. Janani was present. Narmada. Narmada. Absent. Lata P.
Present, sir.
Present. Deepika B was present. Sandhya.
Yes, sir.
Sandhya present. Abhirami. Abhirami is absent. A. Kokila. Kokila is absent. S. Purani.
Present, sir. Kokila present, sir.
Kokila present. Purani.
Purani present, sir.
Purani present.
Present, sir.
Andrew Thopil absent. Renuka Purani was present. Abhirami was absent, right? Abhirami and Sandhya was absent. Andrew Thopil absent. Renuka G. Renuka K absent. Present. Okay. Mude Monika.
Present, sir.
Present. Ratna S. Ratna S absent. Uma was present. Pavitra V. Pavitra V.
Present, sir.
Present. Bipin Bihari Pradhan was present. A. Parthina Joy was present. L. Vijayan, he was also present. Revati was present. Mr. Sansinger was present. Riddhi is absent. Most probably.
I'm present, sir.
Okay. Riddhi is present. Okay. So Sangati Sneha absent. Narmada V absent. Sandhya Karuna absent. Abhirami absent. Andrew Thopil absent. Ratna S absent.